Hello students, you're welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to design a questionnaire using Epi Info. In the previous video, we have designed a questionnaire using Google Docs, the forms in Google Docs. So in this session, we are going to design a questionnaire using Epi Info. We have seen how to export a questionnaire from Google Docs or from Google Forms to an Excel sheet. Likewise, in Epi Info, we are going to see how to export the questionnaire from the Epi Info platform to Microsoft Excel. We are going to equally see how to design a form using Epi Info in the computer, transfer that form into our mobile devices, and use this form in our mobile devices to collect data. We are going to see how to transfer that data or how to import data from the mobile device to the computer. Also, another advantage of using this Epi Info is that if we design this form as a final year student, you are conducting a research, maybe your target population are equally students, you can share these forms to various students or students in other schools, and you teach them how to collect the data. You understand? So you can share this form you have created by installing Epi Info in their mobile phones, and you share the form with them, and they will collect this data. So at the end of the day, we are equally going to see how we can merge data that is coming from, let's say you share your form or your questionnaire to 5 or 6 six of your friends, and they have collected data. Now you need to merge this data into one Excel sheet. So we are going to see how to do that in this session. It may be in another video, but in this session of designing the form using Epi Info, we are going to see all of that. So let's get right into it. First, we have to download Epi Info. You can download Epi Info from the CDC website. From the CDC website. This is a form we're creating using Google Forms. So if you just type Epi Info, you type Epi Info, the CDC website, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, is going to open. So you click on Epi Info. We are not interested in knowing what CDC is doing. We are interested in Epi Info. Okay. Now, for those I'm teaching in the medical field, at least we know we have introduced Epi Info there. We have looked into what the CDC is doing and how they are utilizing Epi Info in carrying out various operations. Okay, so we are in the website. We look for Epi Info. So when you click on Epi Info, you're going to get to this download page. You can either download a zip file or you download the installer. I'll go for the installer. So you click on this, it's going to download it. I downloaded already, and if we check in the download folder, we should get Epi Info somewhere. I have Epi Info set up and I have Epi Info zip, the two files you see. So download the installer, is going to give you this setup. You install it. When you install it, it's going to go to drive C. Then we have it on the desktop. So we're just going to launch this. Let's launch that. Okay, when we launch Epi Info, that is on the desktop, we're going to have this interface. Now we have the create forms. This is where we'll be creating our questionnaire, create surveys or questionnaires with fields, validation, and so on. Enter data. This is where we'll be entering data. This is where we'll collect data. Okay. Then we have create maps, statistical. We have analyze data. We can get classic, we can get visual dashboard. This is where we can perform analysis using Epi Info. But this will be a lecture for another day, how to analyze data using Epi Info. Will be a lecture for another day. So let's go to create forms. We click on create form. It's going to open a new window. Click on create forms. Good. We have a new window open. Now, this section of Epi Info, we call this section the canvas. This is where we are going to be inserting our questions. This is where our questions are going to be aligned. Whatsoever we are typing is going to be inside this canvas. So let us begin. We are starting a new project. new project. Before you begin typing the name of the project, there are things you need to know about Epi Info. The naming convention. Naming convention. We do not use spaces in Epi Info, okay? We do not use spaces in Epi Info. So if you have two words, to separate these two words, you're going to use underscore, or you put the two words together. So if you must separate the two words in your sentence in Epi Info, inside a name or something, or a request of a name, you should not use underscore. So for this naming convention, we are going to title it Health Questionnaire, as we did before. Let's just put a space and you're going to see what will happen. Health Questionnaire. So if I come out of that, I get an error message telling me there is a problem. Invalid project name. Project name cannot contain spaces or non-alphabetic characters other than underscore. Get it? Or non-alphabetic characters other than underscore. So you have to take note of that. So at this point, I'm just gonna remove that space and put underscore. Likewise here, if you give a space there, we're still gonna have a problem. If I give a space there, we still have a problem, you see. So we do not use spaces in Epi Info. Description, you see now it is accepted. Now where would this thing be saved? Location. When I install my Epi Info, I installed it in drive F instead of drive C because I had some problems with Net Framework in my computer. So I installed it in drive F. Now in your computer, you are going to install it in drive C, and where you have this location, you're going to have drive C, F, you have F, local disk F, then you have users, local disk C, sorry, in my case it's F, in your case it will be C, then you're going to have users, then you have the name of your computer, then you have Epi Info, then you have project, then you have the title of the project, okay? So this is the location where it's gonna be found. Now we have the description. What is this talking about? Okay, what is this your questionnaire talking about? It is a survey. It is a medical survey. Okay, we have it as such. Just give it medical survey. Okay, data repository. Data repository for this is Microsoft Access 2002 to 2003. Now you have to take note of this. The version of Epi Info we are using uses Microsoft Access 2002 to 2003. Because why are you taking note of this? There is a point where we will be asked to export our files as Excel 97 to 2003 or Excel 2007. At this point, if you are taking Excel 2007, you're going to have a problem opening that Excel file. Okay, so you have to take note of that. So now the form name. What name do we want? Do we intend to call this our form? We're going to call it my first. Should I give it my first? No, I'm going to give it underscore. My first, no space, on questionnaire. My first questionnaire. I'll just change this health questionnaire to my first questionnaire also. My first. My first questionnaire. Now, let me check if I already have something like that, because we did something like that in class. Let me check if I already have something like that inside my project so that we can erase it. Okay, use project. My first questionnaire. Yes, I think I have it there. I'm just going to delete this so that I don't get an error message saying there's already something like that carrying that name. Okay, so I'm going to take OK. Okay, when this form opens, we're going to have this interface. Now, let's look at this. If we have to begin. We have the name of the project, we have the name of the form, then we have the first page, just as what you'll be typing in Word. So this will be our first page of our questionnaire. Then we have the fields. This is what is going to be defining our questions. In Google Forms, we had long text and short text. In Epi Info, we are going to have text only. Then we have text uppercase. Text uppercase means the responses that the respondents are going to give to that question will all be in uppercase. Okay, so when you are choosing your text, if you choose this, you're going to have everything in uppercase. So we are going to be using text. Okay, we're going to be using text for our open-ended questions. Now, at this point, we don't have a limit as in the case of Google Forms. Then we have multi-line, we're not going to use it. Number, no. Phone number, no. Date, do we require date? No, we don't require date in our analysis. Time, we don't require time. Date, time, we don't require it. Checkbox, we may use checkbox. Maybe we need to select multiple options. We may use checkbox. For questionnaires, no, we may not use checkbox here because we don't have questions that require you to just tick if you agree to it. So we may not use here. Yes or no. Yes, we will use this one. Yes or no. Options, good. Options, this is what gives us multiple choice, the choices where we can choose. Okay, we'll find that in options. Then we have command button, no. Images, no. Okay, next is legal values. This is what we're going to use. If you need to insert a table in your questionnaire, we go to grid. Grid is going to give us a table. Legal values is what we are going to be using. Okay, legal values will give us a drop down. Okay, give us a drop down. Okay, then we have templates where we have fields, we have forms, we have pages. So to add a new page, we're just going to add a new page to this questionnaire. To add a new page, you right click on the form and you take add a page. Now we're going to have the page number here. If you agree to it, you select OK. You're going to have a new page. So that is how you can add a new page to your questionnaire. Maybe your questionnaire is having 4 pages. You can add that. Now let's go to our design. Now if we check the questionnaire we designed, let's go back. We had the intro health questionnaire. In this our case is now okay. We have health questionnaire. So I'm just going to copy this intro. Remember I told you that for you to have an interesting questionnaire, it must carry this introduction telling the participant what you expect from them and how much contribution they are making to your work. You understand? So for us to give that introduction in Epi Info, that does not require the respondent to answer to it. We are using label or title. So we carry this to insert a title to this canvas. Okay, this space that I showed you, we call it canvas. To insert a title to this your worksheet or your page number 1 that is in the canvas, you come to the label, you press and hold. Are we there? You left click, press and hold, you drag and you drop it inside. Now it's going to prompt. The prompt is going to come up, a question prompt. What do you want to put there? So we're just going to carry this title here and we feed it inside. Okay, we have health questionnaire. So the form name. Now this field name is what is going to appear in your Excel sheet. So I will advise you to put underscore. You understand? I'll advise you to put underscore. And now the fonts, you can equally change the fonts. Where you have fonts, you can change the fonts. Let's give it Times New Romans. We give it regular. We give it font size 14 so that it's visible. Then we take OK. You see, we have our field. Now I want you to adjust this to the top of the page. The next is that intro. It's still a field because we don't require respondent to respond to that. So we're gonna copy this intro. Copy this intro. Now we paste this intro inside here. If you come here, you give it fonts, it's gonna tell you no, I already have that. So this field name is extracting whatsoever is inside this field when you enter the text. Okay, so what do? You come here and you give it introduction. Now I want us to give font size. The font is Times New Romans. It's regular, it's 14. It's okay. So we have that. Now we click on OK. You see our introduction is there. To make it look nice, you hold the edges. Like that. You drag. Okay. You hold the edges like that. You drag. Make sure it aligns well so that it doesn't occupy much of your page. Too much of your page. Okay. Now carry this up. Good. It's now looking nice, but then your P, you have cut some characters, so bring it down a bit. Now carry this up and drop it there. Perfect. Now we should start inserting our question. The first question in that questionnaire was how old are you, and this is option. This will be option. You drag options, you put it there, you ask the question, how old are you? How old are you? Give a question sign. The field is going to come here, so give underscore. Remember, this is what is going to appear in your Excel sheet. How old are you? Give underscore. Okay, you increase the number of options. We have 4 options. The first option was 15 to 23, 24 to 32. So we had 15 to 23, 24 to 32. Then we get 33 to 41, 33 to 41, 42 to 49. Good. Now, like the case of Google Forms, you can either decide to put these questions horizontal or vertical. Doesn't matter. Like the question, do you want to align it to the right or to the left? You choose whatever. Okay. Like the case of no, it's not gonna appear here. It's not gonna appear here. It's not gonna appear here. Okay, let's get to the prompts. The prompts for the multiple choice questions, usually they will not be required. They will not be required questions. We give it. Oh, sorry. Where is Times New Romans? Times New Romans. Times New Romans. Give it 14. Okay. The prompts field. So this is how your question is going to appear now. The field forms the data the participant is going to select. What should it be like? What should it look like? It should be Times New Romans. It should be regular. It should be 14. Yes. So all of this will be 14 Times New Romans. Now we have set this, so we can take OK. So it's now set. You can drag again, as I showed you. The questions are now in line. Okay, good. Now you must ensure that when you hover over a question like this label, okay, when you take your mouse over it, it should not overlap the question that is below, or the one below should not overlap what is above. You get the point. If you do that, remember you are going to transfer this into your mobile device. If you do that, the questionnaire will not display well in your mobile device. You understand? So you have to make sure it doesn't overlap. You have the opportunity to create as many pages as you want, so don't overlap, don't overcrowd it and overlap things. So let's get to the next, which is marital status. Marital status. So we have options still. We have options still, but then why don't we use legal values, which is a drop down? Okay, let's take legal values because you're going to be using it, so I'll show you how to use legal values. With legal values, you can make it a required question or not. Okay, remember I said do not make any question in your questionnaire a required question. So this question will be marital status. The field name is going to extract what is in that text box. We give it underscore. Then the prompt, we give it times New Roman 14, and the field we give it times New Romans 14. Good. Now the data source. When you click on that drop down, what will be inside the drop down? So this is where you put it. You see these 3 dots here? You come and you click on it. It's going to open like this. Now you'll be asked, create new from existing, use existing. So we are going to create new data source. And now I'll just check this. Do not sort. When you check do not sort, it means that the way you have entered the information here, that is how it's going to appear on the phone. But if you don't check that box, it means it's going to sort it, and it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So we're going to create new. Good. We are here. You right click, double click on this. It's going to give you options to enter text. So we are going marital status. We're starting with single. Next, we get married. Next, we get divorce. Good. We now take OK. You see, legal values disappeared. Make sure it doesn't overlap. Now you see we can shift this, okay? We can move this away from that particular question. So I'm just gonna align it. I'm just gonna align it here like that. Make sure everything is looking really nice. Good. When it's behaving like this, I want you to take escape. Now you behave like this depending on the capacity of your machine or the speed of your machine, the available RAM size, and so on. So we have this now. Look at this. It doesn't actually look nice. Maybe we can make this thing gold. Okay. So how do we edit this? You right click on it. You take properties. It's going to take you back to this window. Go to fonts. We are choose regular. I want us to take bold. Okay. And we take OK. Now this is manageable. Yes, it's manageable. Questionnaire. Okay. Next question is religion, which is Christianity, and other religion. Let's just give that options. So we put the religion and give it. This time around we don't have order to add, so we're going to insert order. We have Islam. We have Christianity, and we have order. Good. The field fonts times New Romans 14, and the field fonts times New Romans 14. And click on OK. Good. So this is gonna appear as such. Okay, we carry this up. Perfect. Now I can make this to be in line with these other questions. Yes, perfect, like that. Okay, now we have question number 2 set. Question number 3 is talking about, have you heard about modern family planning? It's a yes or no question. So we're going to take yes or no. Yes or no. You see, this also comes up with the required option. Have you heard about modern family planning? That is the question. We just edit the fonts Why are you doing all of this? So that when you insert this in Excel, you will not have much work to do there. Okay. Have you heard about modern family planning? Good. Okay. The next question is an open-ended question. If yes, what do you understand by modern family planning method? We're just going to copy this. It's an open-ended question which is a text, so we're going to take text. We drop it there. We enter that question. Field name. You are going to use underscore to separate everything because this is how it's going to appear in Microsoft Excel when you export. I keep repeating. So you have to take note of this. You'll notice that once you have designed your questionnaire well, what do you understand? By modern family planning. Good. So we have that. Maximum number of characters. Do not set maximum number of characters, okay? Just leave it empty. It should be infinite. Because you don't know what is in the participant's mind. So you don't set that. It should be infinite. Okay. We've set the fonts. I'll repeat again. If you select required, it means if you check this box required, it means if the participant does not answer this question, they will not be able to move forward. Okay. And remember, I've said your questionnaire should be interesting. If you give them that restriction not to move forward, if they don't answer a particular question, they are going to abandon the questionnaire because they are not being paid to answer it. You understand? So you have to make sure you don't check this. Okay, we click on OK. Good. We have that set. Good. We are good to go. Now, this is set. Okay. How do we collect data? To collect data, in this form, we just get to enter data. Go to enter data. Data has not been created for this. A database table has not been created for this form. Would you like to create database table? Yes. Good. So the starting ID is 1. My first questionnaire, that's the title. We click on OK. It's going to open this window. It's going to take us to this section, enter data. So this has been opened. Good. We are now there. I'm having this message because I have problem with net framework, but you will not have this problem. Okay, so we have this. We are in page 1. Oh, we made a mistake. We're designing our questions in page 2. So I'm just going to go back to this form. I'm going to go back to that form and edit it. Okay. You see our page 1 is empty. We're designing in page 2. Sorry for this error. We're just going to delete page 1. Yes. Then we rename page 2 to page 1. Rename page 2 to page 1. Okay. Now we can add page 2. Perfect. Okay, so we have questions in page 1. So now let's go back to enter data. Good. So we have page 1 is carrying our information now. Page 1 is carrying our information the way it's supposed to be. Okay, even though it is not properly displayed, but when we exit and reopen it, we're going to have it. So how do you enter data? You just select this. You select the various options. Order. Select the various options. No. Yes. So we take new record. this number is going to change to 1. We already have one record already. So we have this. Select this. Now select this. We take diverse. Islam. We take no. We take new record. The number will change to 2. Good. So we are moving. So this is how we collect data using the laptop. Okay. Now, how do we collect data using a mobile device? I'm just going to click to forms. Let's go back to the form. We create a template. We'll create a template for that. Okay. We are inside forms. We are inside forms. I think we should just delete this page. We don't need this page. But you already know how to create a page, okay? We are inside forms. Okay. How do we export this information into our mobile device? So, first we need to come to this form. We right click on it and we take save as template. A prompt will come for us to give a name to this template. So I'm just going to call this template Nelly. Should I call it Nelly? I'll call it health. Health. I click on OK. That template has been created. How do we check where the template is? We come to this section of templates. We open. This is forms. We go to forms. You click on this plus sign that you have beside forms. You're going to see the templates. I've created so many templates. That's why you see there are so many. But in your case, you have just health. This is a template. So you right click on this and you take open containing folder. It's going to take you to where that template has been saved. Okay. Now we have open containing folder. We have it in the Epi Info templates forms. Now, how do we send this into our mobile phone? So you're just gonna plug in your mobile phone into your computer, as I've done. Then you activate file transfer. Activate file transfer. Now, when you install Epi Info in your computer, on your mobile device, Epi Info will be installed in the download folder of your mobile device. So let's check my phone. This is internal storage of my phone. We open this phone. You go to download folder. Go to download folder. You should have Epi Info inside download folder. Open it. What happened to the phone? The phone disconnected. Sorry. The phone disconnected. Sorry about that. Okay, we have file transfer activated. Open to the download folder. We are opening Epi Info. Good. So you see, we have this folder. Now, that destination we opened was local disk F Epi Info. We have a templates. Or let's just go back there. We right click on this. We say open containing folder. Okay, this is our health that we have created. I want you to right click on this health if you are using Windows 10 and you copy, or if you are using Windows 11, by the time you select this health, this is copy. Okay, this is copy. You copy it. Okay, we have opened Epi Info folder in our mobile device. So I want you to look at questionnaires. Open this folder. Good. Now, if you are using Windows 11, you should have the paste command up here. Click on paste. If you are using Windows 10, you should right click and you take paste. You should right click and you're going to have paste option. You take paste. So this is now in our mobile device. Now what are we going to do? We're going to open this mobile device. We're going to open this mobile device. When you open this mobile device, it's going to appear as such. Epi Info is going to appear as such. So you're going to select collect data. This pop-up will come up. Where you have this drop down, you click on it. You select the name of the file you have created. In this case, it's supposed to be held. It's going to be held, not Bunya. Bunya is here because I used this to design this lesson. I created Bunya to design this lesson. So you're going to select held. When you select held, it will be selected. Now you have held at this point. Then you take load. You select load. It's going to load that questionnaire into your mobile device. This is how you're going to have. This is the interface you're going to have in your mobile device. Now you click on the plus sign to collect record. When you click on this plus sign, the questionnaire is going to load as such with this introduction. Okay, it's going to load as such. Now, when this questionnaire is loaded, when you have entered all your options, when you have answered all the questions in the questionnaire, you're going to click on this button at the top right hand corner. You're going to click on it to save that record. When you click on that, the record will be saved. Now, as you save record, you see it appearing like this. This is record 1, record 2. If you enter maybe 50 records, you have up to record 50. You get the point. Now, once these records are saved, how do you export this back to the computer? You have to right click on these 3 dots. These 3 dots we have here. You have to right click on. You have to click on it, not right click. You have to touch these 3 dots. This is going to come up. Then you select create sync file. Create sync file. It's going to create a sync file. You will be asked to enter a password. Okay. Now I'm just going to do this process. Then enter my password, and we are going to import this data back into our computer. Okay. So far I've collected 10 records already in my mobile device. So let's import these records into Epi Info. Okay, so for you to import new records that you have obtained from mobile device, you go to enter data. You go to enter data. Where we enter data, that is where you're going to do the import process. Go to enter data. I've shown you this before. Okay, enter data. It's loading. Okay, we are in enter data. Now we wish to import. We already remember we entered 2 records already. So I want us to come to file. Let's go to file. We go to import from mobile device. Yes. Now mobile sync files to import. We are browsing to the location where we created that sync file. Remember I showed you are supposed to create a sync file. Okay, you are supposed to create a sync file with a password. So we are browsing to that location. Okay, now let's locate the mobile phone. Open. We are looking for the download folder. We are looking for Epi Info folder. We are looking for sync files. Okay, when you open the sync files as such, I want you to right click on any empty space. If you have created just one sync file, you're going to have just a single sync file in this folder. I want you to click on details. But if there are many sync files as mine, I want you to go to modify, so that it should take you to the most recent sync file created. This is a sync file held. Now the sync files will always carry the name of the template that you exported to the mobile device. So we open this sync file. Now it's going to ask for the password that we entered when we're creating the sync file. So you enter the password. Then we have destination. It's going to feed it in this questionnaire. Now type of import, we are updating and we are appending the records. Okay, we are updating and we are appending the records. So I want us to go to import. This is import here. It's not that visible, but it's down here, and we have cancel. So I want us to click import. I entered 10 records. So second but last line, this last line, you have 10 records processed. Okay, now we should close this. This record number is going to change. Now we have 12 because we had 2 already. So this is how we import from mobile device into the computer. Now, how do we export this to Microsoft Excel? There are two methods of exporting this to Microsoft Excel. First, we are going to use the visual dashboard, okay, and then next we are going to use the classical dashboard. So let's go to visual dashboard. This is visual dashboard here. We'll click on that. It's going to open the dashboard. Good. We have analyze here. I want us to go there and we click data. Good. This is our data. We have 12 records, okay. We have 12 records. See the headers. So what do we intend to do? We intend to export this record to a sheet. So we come here where we have these options, okay. We click on it and we take export data. Export data, okay. We take export data. The new window is going to open. Output format. How do you intend to export the data? Remember, I told you that we are going to see export data Microsoft Excel. Remember, there we're using Access 2000 to 2003. If you come here, you choose 2007, you're going to have a problem with that Excel sheet. So we are taking Excel 97 to 2003. Connection information, browse, okay. Connection information is the file the Excel sheet wants to save this record in. So we click on browse, we click on browse again. The location where we want to save this record. We want to save this record where we saved our project, my first questionnaire. So I'm going to open Epi Info. I'm going to open projects. I'm going to open my first question. I want to save it here. So I'm just going to enter the name. The name of this thing was Health Questionnaire. Health Questionnaire. You click on open. You take OK. Now we are here. It's going to ask you to enter a destination table. Now we don't have any destination table here, so we are just going to put table 1, okay, for this destination table. Now we see the export is highlighted. If you remove table 1, export will no longer be highlighted. You see, it's no longer highlighted. So we insert table 1 and we export. You remember the location, we see it's telling us export completed successfully, 12 records written. Remember the location where we saved that file, okay. We are going to check that location now to see if that these records are inside. So let's close this window. We go to drive F, we open Epi Info, we open projects, my first questionnaire, we have it there, Health Questionnaire. Then we'll click on that. Good. Again, we have our data, okay. We have our data. Now there's something very interesting with Epi Info. You see, we are having ones, we are having 0. This is what Epi Info does. When you use options in Epi Info, as we are going to see in coding, when we'll be coding our data for analysis, when you use options in Epi Info, okay, Epi Info automatically codes all the options starting from 0. When you use legal values, it's going to give you the characters the information the way you put them in the legal values. You see, we have already coded religion because it was options. Age, we have already coded them, it was options. You see, we have coded them. The yes or no questions, we have coded them. You understand? So it makes work easy for you. It makes your analysis easy. So we have our data also in Excel. In our next, we are going to stop this lecture now. In our next session, we'll see how we can merge records obtained by 3 different sources using the same questionnaire in Epi Info. So if you shared your questionnaire with your friends and you ask them to collect data for you, when they bring back that result, how are you going to merge them into a single Excel sheet so that you can pre-process that data and analyze it? We are going to see that in the next lecture, okay? Don't miss the next lecture.